This is your daily briefing and you're most welcome to it. Yesterday was about the after party, 50,000 different angles, capturing the limbs and the energy of the players, the fans, the celebrations, the stewards trampled to within inches of their lives. Away fans must deserve a mention here again, and I always refer to them as a different breed. If we could stop the clock, pause the tape and CGI in ideal supporters, then away fans somewhere north of Watford on a cold night, they're the ones you want round you. No sign of vloggers, people holding up iPads and half scarves are notable by their absence. I wonder, what sort of fans do players respond better to? Tourists or lunatics? Which leads us to the cul-de-sac of football economics. That most fans these days are middle-class boys slumming it, whether they care to admit it or not is another matter. Simply because a ticket for a football match at Spurs in the 21st century is no longer for everyone. While the idea of making money isn't ignoble, it creates its own pressure upon the buyer. Spurs fans are simply super starving. They pay out endlessly for banquets, but occasionally they toss the odd sausage roll. Under ENIC's interminable reign, fans are so close to malnutrition they began celebrating days where the sausage roll arrives in one piece, or not squashed, or not time expired. The comeback and victory against Ajax in the Champions League was undoubtedly a great game, a great moment. The comeback and victory against Leicester City was equally insane and rewarding in its own way. Watching a game, I get quite animated myself. But my self-respect kicks in and it prevents me from filming it. But watching goals again and again with the Titanic theme laid over the top, or the Hong Kong Phooey theme laid over the top, to be frank, this is the realm of those on the spectrum. I've lost count of how many times I've watched Ricky Vieira's goal against Manchester City over the years. A tiny part of my brain thinks a last-minute toe will poke out and deny the Argentinian. But I only watch it because it was such a meaningful moment, because we won a cup. I remember sitting there watching the trophy being held up at the end of that game. History used to only remember winners. Now, with new ENIC brand Mind Control, history also celebrates near misses, no matter how utterly irrelevant they are in the scheme of things. Aren't we worth more than this? Celebrating like maniacs along the way is nothing to be embarrassed about, but in the cold light of day, Poch will look back on images such as this one, a bittersweet emotion. Although the groundwork was done before he arrived, this image is of him actually achieving something. PSG fans are still waiting for him to win something in his own right. Oh, and this is where the Leviologists tell us about ride enjoyment. If I want to sit in comfort going round in circles, I'll ask the missus to drive me into any major city centre. And so to the aftermath of the after party, we have the news that Hugo Lloris has been convinced to extend his contract. And whilst this is great news, the fact is that the alternative is Galini, one of the most rank average flappers in Europe. What seismic transfer activity do we have on the horizon to shake up this tired squad of underachievers? A £20 million a pop superhero, prop forward man. Maybe he will come and maybe he will be the catalyst for glory, or maybe he's just another charity shop jigsaw with pieces missing. Football fans should be cheering stuff that counts. But we have people cheering bank loans, we have people cheering stadium construction videos, we have people cheering buskers, people cheering anything but winning. Winning's dirty. Winning is something that people find excuses for. Winning is what cheats and money launderers do. I want to win. Poch could have won something with us, but he wasn't backed. Mourinho, whatever you think of him, was fired days before a cup final against a side he'd already beaten in the league. Conte is clearly crying out for backing. This winter window is unlikely to solve much, but some meaningful movement would be appreciated, would be helpful. I'd like to apologise for spouting all this negative dross. Now I'm off to watch a compilation tape of Emerson Royal, a player Barcelona paid less than 8 million for, making crosses because a tiny part of my brain thinks at the last minute one of them will be successful. Seize the opportunities you get to be happy. Okay? I'm not down on happiness. I'm prepared to film myself leaping around like a monkey. But think about the bigger picture. Big clubs, real clubs, proper clubs, successful clubs, they win trophies. That's because their focus is ruthlessly just upon the football. So good luck, and despite them, keep it on.